Kept you waiting, huh? How's it going, Miles? That's good to hear. That's good to hear. Man. I don't know why Twitter does this. They just do not care for me copying and pasting. It is very annoying. Dang old internet websites. Okay. Let's play some motherfucking Metal Gear. Hey! How's it going, Frog? A Hideo Kojima game. The title screen, like the title screens of so many Metal Gear games, has a whole bunch of silly Easter eggs, like you can change the colors with the right stick, you can move the pattern with the left stick, you can make it go in fast or slow motion, switch the background and foreground dudes, switch the colors, switch that. There's also a way to switch the pattern as well, but I can't remember how to do that. I'm gonna turn Elgato down a little bit because the audio seems to be clipping. And this has transfarring. If you have the PS Vita version of Metal Gear Solid 3, which I don't, I do want to get it though because then I can play Metal Gear Solid 3 wherever, even though I could do that with the 3DS version. But the 3DS version isn't as good. You can transfer the save file between the two versions, which is cool. Am I playing Metal Gear Solid for the first time, and do I like MGS1, do I like MGS2, or do I like MGS3? Oh. That sounds like butt. I wish Twitch wouldn't do that. Let's go with I like Metal Gear Solid 2. We're gonna play on normal.
After the end of World War II, the world was split into two, East and West. This marked the beginning of the era called the Cold War.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Viral Gamer. I do really like MGS3. It's the first Metal Gear Solid game I ever played, actually. What's funny is I only got into Metal Gear Solid after watching the Chip and Ironicus LPs, and then I borrowed a copy of Metal Gear Solid 3 from a friend. And it was even like the original Metal Gear Solid 3 release. It wasn't the Subsistence release.
20 minutes to drop off.
Commencing internal depressurization. Equipment check. Arm main parachute.
All right. You ready to go?
Drop zone still showing a high pressure mass. Cav okay.
Good. We've got high visibility.
And of course, we know this snake's a badass because he smokes cigars instead of cigarettes.
Connecting oxygen hose to interior connector. Put on your mask. Does this panty waste know what he's doing?
Hey, how dare you?
Approaching release point. 10 minutes to drop off. Hey, are you deaf?
He said put out the cigar and put on your mask.
But he can't be a panty waste. I can't stand that. I'm at least a G-string waist.
Depressurization complete.
Checking oxygen supply.
6 minutes to drop off. Opening rear hatch.
I like how the U.S. Army labels their equipment, but also with the name of the game, Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater.
Sunrise.
Or maybe that's just the brand of mask he's wearing.
External temperature minus 46 degrees Celsius. 2 minutes to drop off. Stand up.
Sounds pretty cold out there.
130 miles per hour. Try not to get frostbite from the wind chill.
1 minute to drop off. Move to the rear.
Activate bailout bottle.
This is one for the history books. The world's first Halo jump. 10 seconds to drop off. Stand by.
Yeah, but the question is, are we doing a Halo jump on easy, or are we doing a Halo jump on legendary?
Drop off. Countdown.
Very different things.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Spread your wings and
Fly. God be with you.
Woo! Oh, God. I don't know why the audio is clipping so bad. Maybe it's just the way I have my PS3 set up, which sucks, but oh well.
got some important news. The head of the CIA has finally given us the green light for the virtuous mission.
Virtual mission?
No, the virtuous mission. The future of our Fox unit depends on it. If it succeeds, we'll be officially organized into a unit.
Virtuous mission? Sounds like some kind of initiation ritual.
You know, don't get cocky. This isn't a training op.
Right. So what exactly is this wonderful mission?
Well,
No, we already played the Wonderful Mission, Wonderful 101. We already played it. Oh, I can
a certain
turn it up.
Soviet scientist requested asylum in the West through one of our moles.
There we go.
His name is Nikolai Stepanovich Sokolov. He's head of the OKB 754 Design Bureau, one of the Soviets' top-secret weapon research facilities, and the East's foremost expert on weapons development.
Sokolov. Isn't he that famous rocket scientist?
The very same. On April the 12th, 1961, the Soviets achieved the first manned spaceflight in history.
The Earth was blue, but there was no God.
Well spoken. The rocket that carried Yuri Gagarin into orbit was the A-1, known as the Vostok rocket. Sokolov is said to be the man most responsible for the multi-engine cluster used in that rocket. After Gagarin's flight, Sokolov left rocket development to become the head of the newly established Design Bureau.
From a lowly technician to head of a design bureau, that's quite a success story, so why do you want to defect?
It seems he'd become afraid of his own creations.
Afraid?
Call it a crisis of conscience.
And for that, he left his country and his family behind and went over the fence?
What a
Not exactly.
wimp.
One of his conditions was that his family was also to be taken.
I hope you like stock
seriously.
footage, because,
Mole to get the family out
the
first,
first 3 Metal Gear Solid
Sokolov
games,
over the Berlin Wall.
chock full of it.
I was the one who conducted the operation.
The security on the eastern side was still full of holes back then. Then what?
We got Sokolov over in one piece, but the whole ordeal had left him exhausted, and we checked him into a hospital in West Berlin. It took him 2 weeks and more than 600 miles to get from the research facility in the Soviet Union to Berlin. He was in no condition to say anything coherent. And it was only a week later that we had something much bigger on our hands.
The Cuban Missile Crisis.
Welp.
October the 16th, 1962, President Kennedy received word that the Soviets
Is my voice still pretty loud compared to the game?
intermediate
Alright.
range ballistic missiles in Cuba. The President demanded that the Soviets dismantle and remove the missiles.
Is this better?
He announced a naval blockade to prevent further missile shipments from reaching Cuba. But the Soviets didn't back down, instead placing their armed forces on
We will not back down!
transport ships carrying missiles
Sorry, that was the
continued on
worst
course towards Cuba.
Russian accent
US
I've ever
forces
done.
went on alert for an all-out nuclear war. Frantic negotiations were conducted through the UN's Emergency Security
I
Council.
sure don't want these nuclear missiles to blow up my country.
Finally, on October the 28th, the Soviet Union agreed to remove its missiles from Cuba. And so the world avoided a nuclear holocaust.
I sure am glad we did the thing where we avoided the nuclear holocaust.
You mean the one where the US agreed to remove its IRBMs from Turkey?
No. The Jupiter IRBMs deployed in Turkey were obsolete, and we were going to get rid of them anyway. They had no strategic value whatsoever to either the US or the Russians. The Turkey deal was a ruse, a cover story that was fed to the other intelligence agencies around the world.
So what did the Russians really want?
Sokolov. They wanted us to return Sokolov.
You mean the Soviets pulled out of Cuba just to get their hands on Sokolov?
That's right.
What the hell was he working on?
At the time, we had no idea. We were running out of time. It was either give up Sokolov or risk full-scale nuclear war. In the end, we had no choice. President Kennedy gave in to Khrushchev's demand.
If you want this fictional scientist, you can have him.
Handing him over to agents on the eastern side. Sokolov kept on screaming, "Save me," until he disappeared from my sight. Then a month ago, we received some new information from one of our moles.
About Sokolov?
Yes. He was taken back to the research facility and forced to continue working on the weapon in question under KGB supervision. What's more, it's on the verge of completion.
So what kind of weapon is it? Something to do with space rockets?
No, missiles.
Same technology.
I guess you're right. We don't know the details, but it appears to be a new kind of nuclear device. For half a year now, the Soviets have been conducting frequent nuclear tests at Semipalatinsk.
Something to do with the weapon, I assume.
Semipalatinsk is only kind of a
So big that
Palatinsk.
Khrushchev was ready to pull out of Cuba to get it back.
It used to be a Palatinsk, but then they conducted the nuclear trials there.
No, according to our intelligence, he's in Selinoyarsk, a place in the mountains about 3 miles to the west that's known as the Virgin.
This area-ish.
Cliffs. Nice name for a virtuous mission.
They
Rocket
moved from there
science.
just recently.
Rocket science. It's not
Why?
exactly brain surgery.
Apparently, they're conducting a field test of the weapon, but it's our best chance to get him back. This mission would never have been possible if he was still in the research facility. This is our last chance. Sokolov must have known that too when he contacted us. Listen up, Jack. Your mission is
Oh yeah, there are
to
also
infiltrate
cutscenes
Soviet
where if you hold the
Ask
first-person
Soviet
button, you can look
mountains,
around in
ensure the
first
safety of
person.
Sokolov and bring him back to the west.
I'm a sneaky snake.
If we don't get Sokolov back before that weapon is complete, we'll be facing a major crisis. The clock is ticking.
And of course, being a Metal Gear game, there are loads of
To
Easter
confirm the rescue
eggs.
of Sokolov,
Like,
stand by
oh!
at the recovery point. A recovery balloon will be dropped at that point.
Fox logo.
Helium will be pumped into the balloon to inflate it. The process takes about 20 minutes.
It takes a lot less than 20
Once it's
minutes,
complete,
judging by the
gunships
later
arm
Metal
will
Gear
latch onto
games.
the balloon and pull it up.
The Fulton surface-to-air recovery system. I'm familiar with the theory.
Well, you're going to become a lot more familiar with it in Peace Walker and
Do you think
Metal Gear
Sokolov is
Solid
up to
5.
The shock will be less than during a parachute jump, and the arm can handle up to 500 pounds.
So you're planning on going over the border in a single combat talon?
She's equipped with two 6-barrel 20mm Vulcan cannons, as well as two 40mm.
Use the Vulcan cannon to destroy wooden containers.
Battalion of tanks.
Even with the fuel in the reserve tank, we're facing a 4-hour time limit. If all goes well, it shouldn't take more than a few hours.
Home in time for dinner.
But if anything goes
I'm
wrong,
so hungry.
you'll
I
be
could eat an
eating dinner,
Octorok.
breakfast, and all the rest of your meals in the jungle.
Dimitri, did you see parachuting men? No, I did not see parachuting men. Okay. And of course, that pose is also a Metal Gear Solid staple. Don't litter. I managed to avoid crashing into the ground. I'm beautiful. Who dat? Dat the most beautiful man in all of the world. Dat who dat is. I found some mushrooms. I have taken the mushrooms. I have found some more mushrooms. I have taken the additional mushrooms. It may indeed be 60 FPS that you are seeing. Take that, Snake. I now have Snake H. Oh, another oh!
Do you copy? You're already in enemy territory, and somebody might be listening in. From here on out, we'll be using code names to refer to each other. Your code name for this mission will be Naked Snake. I'll be referring to you as Snake from now on. You're not to mention your real name. What, you don't like Snake?
I think I'll give Snake Eater a promotion!
In survival training.
I'm glad to hear that.
I don't know if I'd ever order one in a restaurant, but...
Be careful, you might not have a choice.
What about you, Major? What should I call you?
Let's see. I'll be Tom. Call me Major Tom.
Ground control to
Oh,
Major
Snake.
Tom.
Yeah,
The crew isn't watching anymore. You can take off the disguise now.
good idea. This is
Anybody who didn't
Christ.
like Metal Gear Solid 2
Time
has
for the
turned off the
snake to
game
shed
by
his skin.
now. That's better. I don't know why he does this. It's weird. Oh, right. I'm supposed to be in the middle of something. I'm also supposed to be sneaky.
Can you hear me, Major Tom? This is Snake. Kept you waiting, huh?
This will be a sneaking mission. You must not be seen by the enemy. You must leave no trace of your presence. Is that clear? This kind of infiltration is the Fox unit's speciality. In other words, weapons and equipment are procured on site. That goes for food as well. You're completely naked, just as your name implies.
Great. Now I see why you asked me if I like snakes. I suppose calling me Snake was your idea of a joke, too.
No, there's a good reason for that. I'll tell you later when the time is right.
Gotcha. Getting back to the subject, how exactly am I supposed to feed myself?
You have a
You've been
mouth,
issued a knife
Snake.
and a
You put
tranquilizer.
food
Use
into
them
your
to hunt for
mouth, you
food.
chew it,
You'll
and then
also
you
find some
swallow
medical
it.
supplies in your backpack.
Yeah, about the backpack. I lost it in a tree on the way down.
I see. Well, you'd better go back and get it then. You know where it is?
No problem. I can see it from here. It's stuck on a branch.
To climb a tree, stand in front of a tree that's covered in ivy and press the action button. I'll be monitoring your progress over the radio. We can't risk violating Soviet airspace, but I'll be in the gunship. My frequency is 140.85. I'll give you a call if I need to talk to you. If you need to talk to me, use the send function.
Yikes, Aroni.
Okay, Snake, go get your backpack.
That's some lag right there. Okay. Time to go get my backpack. This early part of the game has quite a lot of radio calls. Woo! But yeah, if a tree has ivy leading up it, you can climb it. We are now on the tree. You can drop down to the branch. Backpack acquired. I better call Mom.
I see you've retrieved your backpack, Snake.
Don't ask me how I can see
It's
this,
necessary
even
to
though
take
it's
it
the
out of your
60s
backpack.
and I shouldn't be able to see anything you're
In the survival
doing.
viewer, choose Weapon from the backpack. Your available weapons will be displayed in a window in the upper left. From that list, choose the weapon you want to equip and press the Enter button. For other equipped items, just do the same thing from Item.
Got it. Use the survival viewer backpack.
Yep, that's right. Survival is fundamental to this mission. After you've
You
been
can't
out in the
complete
field
it
for a
after
while,
you
your
die,
stamina
after
will
all.
start to drop. If your stamina gets too low, it'll affect your performance. You won't be able to shoot accurately, for example, and your wounds won't heal as smoothly. Keep an eye on your stamina so you don't run out. To recover lost stamina, you can hunt for local flora and fauna. You can use either your tranquilizer gun or your knife to hunt.
My only weapon is a Mark 22 Hush Puppy tranquilizer gun?
That's right. It's been fitted with its own suppressor. However, the suppressor will deteriorate every time you fire. Once its durability reaches 0, the noise suppression effect will be gone. So don't get too trigger happy with it. The suppressor's durability is shown in the icon. Any weapons and equipment beyond what you're carrying now, you'll have to find as you go.
I have to find my own weapons and equipment? Whose crazy idea was this anyway?
Solo covert actions are standard Fox operating procedure. You can't leave any traces of your presence. No weapons, equipment, footprints, sweat, or bodily
Well,
waste.
I mean,
The same goes for bullets and
accurate
cartridges,
to a
too.
point.
Your
It still
presence in
makes the
enemy
guns go
territory is already a violation of international conventions
instead of
warfare. There aren't
bang,
supposed to
but
be
slightly
any
quieter.
soldiers in Russia. It could spark an international incident. You can't let anyone see you. You can't let the enemy know you're there. This is a stealth mission. You're a ghost, Snake, in every sense of the word. There'll be
Boo.
no rescue if you're captured. The military and US government will deny any involvement in the affair.
Then I'll just have to take care of myself, huh?
I'm afraid so. You've been given a fake death pill for that purpose. SIS guidelines stipulate that soldiers on covert ops like this one be issued a potassium cyanide capsule. Tape it to your body so you can take it when you need to.
How generous of you.
Use it if you're taken prisoner by the enemy. It'll send you into a state of false death for a short time.
Fooling them into thinking that I'm really dead. So, how do I come back to life?
Just take the revival pill.
You mean that thing they put in my tooth before the mission?
That's the one. But be careful. If you remain in a state of false death for too long, nothing will be able to bring you back. Remember that.
I'll keep it in mind. You said this was a solo mission, right?
Right.
I guess that means I can't
Snakes are
count on
cool.
any reinforcements.
Correct. The mission rests entirely in your hands.
A real one-man army.
Relax. There's a support team ready to back you up over the radio.
Who?
I'll introduce them to you. This time, survival is of utmost importance.
You said
The first
that.
member of the support team will be in charge of monitoring your physical condition, acting as a medic, so to speak, as well as recording your mission.
That might
data.
also work, yeah.
She's a member of Fox as well, and she's here on the gunship with me.
She.
Hello, Snake. I'm paramedic. Nice to meet you.
Paramedic.
As in a medic who comes in by parachute.
Aren't you going to tell me your real name?
Are you going to tell me yours, Mr. Snake?
My name, huh? It's John Doe.
And they call you Jack for short. You're a regular Captain Nemo.
A name means nothing on the battlefield. After a week, no one has a name. What's your name?
Jane Doe.
Very funny.
I wasn't joking, but I'll tell you my name only if you manage to make it back alive. My frequency is 145.73.
She's also in charge of recording your mission data. Whenever you want to save, send a message over the reserved save frequency, 140.96.
So saving lets me record my mission data.
That's right. It also records the state of your health.
Good to know.
There's one more person I want to introduce you to, Snake.
Huh?
Speaking of snakes, you remember the boss, don't you? A legendary soldier and your mentor. Actually, it was the boss that got the DCI's authorization in the first place. She's going to be serving as Fox's mission advisor.
Boss is?
She also helped me plan this mission. She and I were at SAS together.
Jack, is that you? How many years has it been?
Boss?
That's right. It's me.
Nobody knows a lot about the boss, apparently.
Talk to me. Let me hear your voice.
It's been 5 years, 72 days, and 18 hours.
But who's
You've
counting?
lost weight.
You can tell just by the sound of my voice.
Of course I can. I know all about you.
Really? Well, I don't know anything about you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Why'd you disappear on me all of a sudden?
I was on a top secret mission.
Hmm.
You didn't need me anymore.
But there were still so many things I wanted you to teach me.
No, I taught you everything you needed to know about fighting techniques.
That's a good question,
I taught
Miles.
you all I could. The rest you needed to learn on your own.
Techniques, sure. But what about how to think like a soldier?
How to think like a soldier? I can't teach you that. A soldier needs to be strong in spirit, body, and technique. And the only thing you can learn from someone else is technique. In fact, technique doesn't even matter. What's most important is spirit. Spirit and body are like two sides
Technique
of
doesn't
a
even
single
matter.
coin. They're the same thing. I can't teach you how to think. You'll just have to figure it out for yourself. Listen to me, Jack.
Now,
Just because
you say that,
someone's on the
Frog.
same side right now doesn't mean
Once
they
this
always
little
will.
conversation is
Having
over,
personal feelings about your comrades is one of the worst sins you can commit. Politics determine who you face on the battlefield. And politics are a living thing. They change along with the times. Yesterday's good might be tomorrow's evil.
Is that why you abandoned me?
No, it had nothing to do with you. I already told you, Jack. I was on a top-secret mission. A soldier has to follow whatever orders he's given. It's not his place to question why. But you're looking for a reason to fight. You're a natural-born fighter, but you're not quite a soldier. A soldier is a political tool, nothing more. That's doubly true if he's a career soldier. Right and wrong have no place in his mission. He has no enemies and no friends. Only the mission. You follow the orders you're given. That's what being a soldier is.
I do whatever I have to get the job done. I don't think about politics.
I especially
Not
don't
the
like
same
seeing
thing.
them in my Twitter
Sooner
or
or
my
later,
video
your conscience is
games.
going to bother you. In the end, you have to choose whether you're going to live as a soldier or just another man with a gun. There's a saying in the Orient, loyalty to the end. Do you know what it means?
Being patriotic.
It means devoting yourself to your country.
So
I
being
follow the president
patriotic.
and the top brass. I'm ready to die for them if necessary.
The president and the top brass won't be there forever. Once their terms are up, others will take their place.
I follow the will of the leader, no matter who's in charge.
People aren't the ones who dictate the missions.
Then who does?
The times. People's
I
values
knew
change
it.
over
The
time.
New York Times
and
is
so do the
controlling
leaders of the
everything.
country. So there's no such thing as an enemy in absolute terms. The enemies we fight are only enemies in relative terms, constantly changing with the times. As long as we have loyalty to the end, there's no point in believing in anything, even in those we love.
And that's the way a soldier's supposed to think?
The only thing we can believe in with absolute certainty is the mission, Jack.
All right, but do me a favor.
What is it?
Call me Snake.
Snake. Oh, right. Your code name is Snake. It suits you well.
That's right. The legendary unit that the boss put together during World War II was a snake. The Cobra unit, a group of heroes that brought the war to an end and saved the world. As long as you've got a legendary hero backing you up, you'll be fine. Isn't that right, Snake?
Yeah, I can't think of anyone else I'd rather have with me. Oh, and one more thing, boss.
Yes?
It's good to hear your voice again.
Same here. After all, who knows if either of us will make it out alive? Snake, you are
What do you mean,
always best
either
at
of
urban
us?
warfare and infiltrating buildings. But this is the jungle. Survival is going to be key. Those CQC techniques I taught you are sure to come in handy.
CQC. Close quarters combat, huh? I've been in the Green Berets for the past few years. I'm probably pretty rusty.
Not to worry. I'll be here to help you remember. After all, this is your first actual survival mission. I'll be supporting you over the radio.
Where are you, boss? Next to the Major?
The boss is communicating with us by radio from aboard a Permit-class submarine in the Arctic Ocean.
My frequency is 141.80. Call me if you need my advice on battle techniques.
Gotcha.
Your mission is to retrieve Dr. Sokolov.
I know.
Dr. Sokolov is being held in an abandoned factory located to the north of your current position. Avoid heavy combat and don't let anyone see you. Don't forget that this is a stealth mission.
Stealth mission, huh?
Snake, try to remember some of the basics of CQC.
Basics of CQC, huh? Grabbing a snack, huh?
Commencing virtuous mission now.
Virtuous mission, huh? Huh.
Alright. We get to play the video game now. Metal Gear Solid 3 is a pretty good game. I like it a lot. There's a lot of crawling in it. There's a lot of running in it. There's a lot of shooty gun Rudy Tooty in it. But, there's also a lot of Easter eggs and hidden stuff, like... Trying to remember how to zoom in and out. Here we go.
What's that? It's a frog. What's a frog doing out here in the jungle?
But yeah, these toy frogs are all over the place. You can turn on and off the suppressor in order to, like, conserve ammo and stuff. You shoot the frog, he makes a noise. So, there is a special unlockable for shooting every frog in the game. There are 64, one in every map. It is very difficult to do, especially in the latter part of the game, where there are basically, like, if you miss the frog, you just miss it. And it's basically impossible to see because it's a pixel shooting past you at, like, several miles an hour. This game introduces camouflage to the Metal Gear Solid series. We got a lot of different camouflages. That's racist, Snake. And of course, we also have this mask of Raiden from Metal Gear Solid 2. Funny thing is, Snake only wears the mask in the intro cutscene if you choose I liked Metal Gear Solid 2 at the beginning of the game. Every other time he doesn't wear that mask. But you still have the mask in your inventory, inexplicably. But we're gonna go with Woodland, because we are in the woods. And there's lots of uniforms. Like Tiger Stripe. Tiger Stripe is like the best all-purpose uniform. It's generally good everywhere. Leaf. Tree bark. Super Mario Brothers bricks. Slimming. And then manly. Ladies. Oh, we're gonna go with Tiger Stripe for now. There's a lot of things in the backpack. Calorie mates count as a weapon, as do the mushrooms and the snake that we got. There are also loads of different items. The life medicine we just picked up is basically this game's version of the ration from Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2. Fake death pill, the revival pill you cannot unequip. Cigar, binoculars, motion detector, center, anti-personnel sensor. We are actually going to turn off the anti-personnel sensor and the active sonar because I don't really use them very often. And we don't really need the cigar right now, so we're going to turn that off because every item has weight. Also going to turn off the directional mic. The items you have in your pockets add up to a total weight, which decreases your stamina as you're running around. You recover stamina by eating food. You can eat calorie mates, which are product placement. I've had a calorie mate before. I had a chocolate one, specifically. They're pretty good. Siberian ink caps, mushrooms. You'll note they say taste unknown. The better something tastes, the more stamina it recovers for Snake. But, welcome to the jungle! We've got fun and games! There should be another snake around here somewhere. Oh, we could just go on ahead. Cardboard boxes come later. I mean, we're in the jungle. It's not like they're gonna grow on trees. A frog. It's okay, it's just a tranquilizer. You can capture animals alive in this game. Well, you can capture small animals alive. These crocodiles you cannot capture alive. Don't try to do it. Bug juice. That is a crocodile in there. And then this is mud over here. You don't want to stand in the mud for too long because you'll sink in it and eventually drown. That's a bee's nest. You shoot it down, the bees. If you're too close, the bees will start attacking you. If you're far enough away, the bees will not attack you, and we can all agree that's generally better for everybody. Shooting down bees' nests gets you both the nest as an edible and ointment as a medicine item.
Ugh, gross. Now my legs are covered in mud, and I'm leaving footprints everywhere.
Having your legs covered in mud does decrease your camo index. Which the camo index I will go into greater detail eventually. You can eat frogs. If you want to eat frogs, you can eat them. You can also kick them. Maybe. Here. Okay. Maybe I can't kick the frog. Oh, the frog is too tiny to kick. Whoop! They're also fruits. Yum! Oh, here's a snake.
I want to capture this snake alive. Yeah. Another Snake H. Excellent.
We're gonna change camouflage again, because my uniform has become dirty. So, switch. You'll probably see me switch camos quite often throughout the game. Expect that. Oh yeah, another thing about this game is that you can reload just by equipping and unequipping a weapon. This is an actual game mechanic. They call it a tactical reload. The downside of it is that you don't get empty magazines from tactical reloads, so... But it is much faster than doing normal reloads, so... There's basically no reason not to use the tactical reload, especially because magazines aren't really that useful in this game.
Going to first-person mode.
Major, I've spotted 2 enemy soldiers.
They're probably KGB troops sent to guard Sokolov.
AK-47.
You can also zoom into cutscenes with, like, one of the buttons. I can't remember which one. I think it's a triangle button. I want to say it's a triangle button.
Snake, your presence in
You can also
Soviet
zoom in on this by, like,
territory is
clicking
a
the
violation of
right stick,
international law.
and you can move the
Can't
camera
let the
around.
Kremlin find out that the CIA and the American government are involved. Contact with the enemy is strictly prohibited. Don't engage them in battle either. This is a stealth mission. Got that?
The Major is right. The point of this mission is to sneak through the jungle without being seen. The success of the mission depends on how well you use your camouflage. Change your camouflage by selecting Camouflage from the Survival Viewer. The Uniform option lets you pick your uniform, while the Face option lets you change your face paint. Choosing camouflage that blends in with your surroundings will help you conceal yourself more effectively. Also, don't forget that anything that moves will stand out in the jungle. If you just stand up and run around like an idiot, you're bound to be spotted. But if you crawl instead, you should be able to sneak by without being noticed. You can see how effective your camouflage is by looking at the camo index. The camo index shows how well your current camouflage blends in with the surrounding area. The higher the value, the harder you are to spot, and vice versa. The key is to make yourself one with nature. Keep that in mind as you go along, okay?
So I shouldn't just do this then.
So yeah, camouflage. Higher camo index means you're harder to spot. Lower camo index means you're easier to spot. Getting down low to the ground generally makes your camo index higher. Your camo index is affected by all manner of things, such as like your surroundings, how fast you're moving, your stance. Lots of things affect your camo index.
I'm gonna wait for this guy to sneak by.
You use the D-pad to sneak up behind people.
Freeze!
And then you can hold them up. And then you can point your gun at their head.
No, wait!
Make them do a little dance. And they drop things. Or you can point at their crotch. And they do the little dance.
Dance for me.
Freeze!
But if you put your gun away, or you visibly or audibly leave their field of view, they will eventually, you know, be like, oh, he's gone, and then try to raise an alert. You can also grab dudes and kite them around, and you can interrogate them.
Speak. Answer me.
We won't hand over Sokolov.
Robin Atkin Downs, is that you?
Speak.
Let go of me.
Speak.
We won't hand over Sokolov.
Answer me.
Let go of me.
Alright. If you insist. You can slam people down on the ground.
Freeze.
Nice try.
And of course, now he's asleep. And you can load them up with darts. No ill effects whatsoever. In general, putting somebody to sleep knocks them out for the longest amount of time in this game. Ooh,
sniper rifle.
You can also, like, do a punch-kick combo on them, or CQC slam them to the ground, and how long they're knocked out depends on what difficulty you're playing. But you can see how long they'll be knocked out for generally by checking out the number of stars they have circling around their head. The more stars, the more they'll be knocked out. You can press up against walls and peek around corners. Also, this game takes advantage of the pressure-sensitive face buttons on the PlayStation 2 and PS3 controllers. So, when you pull out your weapon, you use the square button, and if you want to put it away without shooting, you have to very gently release the square button. Which can be a little weird. There is also no crouch walking. If you want to walk, you stand straight up, or you crawl. PS2 controllers did indeed have pressure-sensitive face buttons. Woo! I'm a sneaky boy. Yep. The Metal Gear Solid games are definitely one of the most notable examples of games that made use of those buttons. You can also hold down a button to lock on to enemies. Just makes it easier to aim. But in this game, bullets have perfect travel.
HQ respond.
This is HQ.
Patrol here. We're under enemy fire. Enemy's position is unknown. Going into alert formation.
What's going on? Respond.
Oh no.
There's something wrong. Support unit, confirm their status.
There are different levels of enemy awareness, caution, alert, evasion. In general, what's wrong? What's wrong? And then I'm pretty sure those support unit guys just pissed off. They woke this guy up, and then they were just like, alright, our job here is done, and left. You can tell whenever you're going to transition into a new area when the letterboxing appears.
Kai. Bees.
That impish little grin he gets. There is indeed a character called The End. But we'll get to that momentarily. Anyway. Oh no, bees! Look at him go. Oh no, bees! Bees! You do want to be careful while walking on this bridge. You can slip off. You can die. The end is in this game. In the 3DS version, when you're on the bridge, you have to use the gyro to avoid slipping off. What's crazy about the 3DS version is the way it, like, transitions from, like, 2D to 3D, like, turning off the 3D mode. It does it really, like, surprisingly seamlessly.
Major, I've reached the abandoned factory where Sokolov is supposedly being held. This place is a dump.
But it might be a real fixer-upper opportunity.
can't see Sokolov from here. The security is pretty tight. There are sentries posted around the perimeter. I wonder how many are inside.
Your objective, Sokolov, is inside the factory. They should be holding him in a room in the northeast section.
Northeast section. Got it.
Be careful. Your mission is to bring Sokolov back alive. He must not be exposed
Those red
to
blinky
any
lights
kind of
actually
danger. Do not approach Sokolov
denote
while in
which
the alert
soldiers
phase.
have radios.
Oh, and one more thing, Snake.
You mean there's more?
No, it's just that when you get to Sokolov, I want you to tell him something from me.
And that is?
Sorry for being so late.
Is that all?
Yes.
Understood. Beginning my approach to the target.
So yeah, some guards have radios. If they're alerted, they'll be able to call into HQ and request more dudes to show up. Oh. He does have those binocular covers that reduce glare. Guards also fall asleep when you shoot them with tranks, not in the head, but how long it takes depends on where you shot them. So like that guy, I shot him in a pretty vital spot, so he fell asleep fairly quickly. That other guy, I shot him in like the knee or something, so it took him a lot longer to fall asleep. So this third-person camera is very, very nice. I like it a lot. This is what the original camera was when the game first came out. This right here. This nigh useless overhead view is not very good. Nope, this camera angle is much better. What's nice is that the game lets you switch between them whenever you want. Oh. You didn't see anything. But of course, being a Metal Gear Solid game, the controls can be rather awkward. One could make the very solid argument that it took until Metal Gear Solid 5, the last Metal Gear Solid game, to create a Metal Gear Solid game that doesn't control like ass.
You must be Sokolov.
Are you one of Volgin's men? You'll never get it from me.
No. I'm a CIA agent. I've come to escort you back to the other side of the Iron Curtain.
You're CIA?
Yeah. I was sent by Major Zero, the man who got you out 2 years ago.
Zero?
Okay, wait a second. I did no such thing. I'm not a major.
He said to tell you sorry for being so late.
Did he now?
What does it mean?
It means he's a man of his word. But we've got no time for this. You have to get me out of here before they arrive.
Who's they?
Colonel Volgin of GRU. You in the West know him as Thunderbolt.
That's a dumb name.
Never heard of him.
He's a member of the Army's extremist faction, a man who seeks to seize control of the motherland. Ever since the Cuban Missile Crisis 2 years ago, Khrushchev has been pursuing a policy of peaceful coexistence with the West. Despite resistance and criticism from hawks in the army and the provincial authorities, Khrushchev has managed to suppress the opposition
Oh no!
so far. But the failure of his agricultural policies has put him in a precarious position. And on top of that, the tragedy last November.
President Kennedy's assassination.
Precisely. In a sense, Khrushchev has lost his biggest partner, and his power base is rapidly crumbling away. A certain group is plotting to use this opportunity to seize power by rallying the anti-government forces, overthrowing Khrushchev, and installing Brezhnev and Kosygin in his place. The mastermind behind this plot is Colonel Volgin of the GRU. He has control over another secret weapons research facility much like this one, OKB-812, known as the Granin Design Bureau. And
Very fuzzy photos. Drawn by the concept artist.
Now he's plotting to seize the secret weapon I have been developing here and use it as leverage in his bid for power. The intelligence says that they are going to make their move during the test.
Then, the soldiers outside.
Exactly. They wouldn't need that many men just to keep me inside. Their orders were to prevent Colonel Volgin from capturing me. Even if it meant killing me in the process, or so it would seem. Volgin will come. I'm sure of it. You must get me out of here before then.
Leave it to me.
By the way, your Russian is superb. Where did you learn to speak it?
From my mentor.
So there you go.
Is that so?
That's the explanation
America's
for
truly
why
a
the
frightening country.
lip sync doesn't exist. And why all these people sound like Americans.
No.
They're actually speaking Russian this entire time.
Hang on a second. I gotta call my mom. Hey, Mom. I need a ride.
Major, this is Snake. Sokolov is safe with me. He's doing fine. No injuries.
Game
Good
up
work,
a little
Snake.
bit more then.
Now hurry up and get Sokolov to the recovery point. We'll rendezvous with you there.
Roger.
What about the sentries?
No one spotted me.
I see.
What about the boss?
We lost contact with the boss some time ago.
What happened?
It's probably just a weak signal. Just hurry and get Sokolov out of there.
I'm sure it means nothing.
Mom's bringing the minivan. Let's go.
Da 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 dum ba dum ba dum ba do 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 do. I also know the kung fu's and the kamehameha. Oh goodness gracious me, oh my! Oh.
Freeze!
Damn it. I said no one saw me. How did they see me? I'm so well camouflaged. I should be invisible.
So this is the legendary boss.
Huh?
Huh? We meet at last.
You're from the Ocelot unit of Spetsnaz. Huh. What's a GRU soldier doing here?
Soldier?
Oh no, I'm only a fighter. I can't take on a soldier.
He's the Ocelot commander.
Ha! That's Major Ocelot to you. And don't you forget it.
Sokolov is ours. Now get out of here.
And Ocelot never lets his prey escape.
What?
And Sokolov's chattering teeth in the background. What was that? Cool enough for you? I win. It's a good thing my hat's red so you can't see the blood on
It
it.
feels good to kill a comrade, even if it is for the GRU.
Sokolov, take cover.
Even though he just demonstrated that won't really work.
Huh. You're not the boss, are you?
I should have known.
GRU operatives!
What is that stance? Huh. That gun. If you're not the boss, then die.
Take this, you little wiener.
Major! Leave it! Shoot the other one! Whoa!
I'm gonna kill you. That was not a QuickTime event. That was just Snake himself being a badass. Boing!
Impossible. You ejected the first bullet by hand, didn't you? I see what you were trying to do, but testing a technique you've only heard about in the middle of battle wasn't very smart. You were asking to have your gun jam on you.
Big ol'
Besides,
dork.
I don't think you're cut out for an automatic in the first place. You tend to twist your elbow to absorb the recoil. That's more of a revolver technique.
You filthy American dog!
Now you're just using a knife. I have a knife and a gun. I win.
But that was some fancy shooting. You're pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah. At least somebody acknowledged that I was cool. Well, that gets a big old nerd. I don't think I've ever seen a bigger nerd, and I don't think I ever will. Hey, Red.
Major, do you read me?
I read you. Snake, you alright?
I've run into a few snags. These guys were after Sokolov too. Apparently they were taking orders from a GRU colonel named Volgan.
A GRU colonel?
Part of an internal Soviet power struggle, according to Sokolov. Something between the KGB and GRU. Between Khrushchev's supporters and Volgan's.
Sokolov was being guarded by the KGB and hunted by GRU? Snake, it sounds like this could be even hotter than Cuba.
I don't like it. Something about the whole thing stinks.
I agree. You'd better hurry.
Sokolov ran off by himself, but I'll catch up to him.
We're counting on you.
Hey, Snake, how would you know it stinks if you don't have a sense of smell? That is actually a conversation you can have in the game, where the boss is like, you have to rely on all of your senses to survive in the jungle, Snake. You have to rely on your strength. You have to rely on your sight. You have to rely on your sense of smell. And then Snake is just like, I can't smell. What? I can't smell. I have no sense of smell. And then the boss is just like, well, I guess you'll just have to rely on your skills as a gamer. So. And yes, that was necessary. There is a way to pick up bodies. I'm trying to remember what it is. Because I want to pick up this... Oh, I have to empty my hands first, I think. Yep, there we go. You pick him up and you drop him. He drops a mouse trap.
Why does an ocelot have a mouse trap? It's kind of weird.
But, we're gonna take this, mouse trap. Well, first of all, we gotta save our game.
Saving the game, Snake?
Yeah.
Hey, Snake, you ever heard of Godzilla King of Monsters?
That sounds
No,
stupid.
what is it?
It's a movie. You haven't seen it?
Nope.
What's a movie?
It's about this monster called Godzilla, who grows to an enormous size in a nuclear test and goes on a rampage in Tokyo.
Nuclear test, huh? Then the Marshall Islands must be crawling with giant monsters right about now.
It's just make-believe.
Maybe that's why my pants have been so tight lately.
Snake, it's a movie, not a report out of Los Alamos.
I know. So then what happened?
Godzilla is immune to all weapons, and humanity has no way to stop the monster. Dr. Shirazawa develops a new type of weapon, but meanwhile, Godzilla is getting closer and closer to Tokyo, obliterating everything in its path. It was originally a Japanese movie, but they made an American version, too. I recommend seeing
I
the
bet
original
any
Japanese
American
one if
version
you
they
ever
would
get the
make would
chance.
probably suck.
It's mostly
They'd
mindless
probably
fun,
have
but
Matthew
it's also
Broderick
got
in
a
it.
serious
Who the hell's
anti-rape
Matthew
message as
Broderick,
well.
Snake?
I don't know.
Original.
It just sounds
You'll
like a
just have
person
to
who
go
would
to
be in an
Japan.
American Godzilla
Really?
movie.
That's too bad.
Well, if you wait 40 years, you might be able to see it in America, too.
Why's that?
2004 will be Godzilla's 50th birthday.
You think they're still going to be making Godzilla movies then?
Of course! Everybody loves Godzilla.
You sure know a lot about movies.
I don't suppose you're the movie-watching type, are you?
Not really.
Okay.
I
then
prefer
I'll tell you
video
everything I
games.
know.
Video games
When
don't
you go and
exist
get
yet,
stuck,
Snake.
Movies can save
I
your
prefer
life.
video games
It's always
anyway.
good to be able to look at things from a different perspective when you get in a jam. That's the magic of movies.
No kidding. Well, I guess it might at least make a nice distraction.
That's the
Plus,
spirit,
it'll give
Snake.
Hideo
Have a little
Kojima
fun.
reason to write in his movie quotes thing.
Hideo Kojima loves movies. Paramedic, whenever you save your game, she tells you about a movie that I'm pretty sure Hideo Kojima probably liked. Anyway, it was very imperative that we save our game. You know what? I sense bad things about this boy. Bad things. Bad things about this boy. Very bad things. We cannot let him live.
Snake, what have you done? You changed the future. You've created a time paradox.
Problem solved. Series over. Ocelot Pistode. Salot Pip Owed. Salot Per Dad? Salot Per DOA. Salot Per Do. Elot Per Dox. Telot Paradox. Temote Paradox? What? Timo Paradox. Time. Oh, Time Paradox. Oh. That makes a lot more sense now. So yeah, if you kill Ocelot, you get a Time Paradox. Don't kill Ocelot. Also the Colonel from Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2 shouts at you, saying, "Snake, you can't do that! You've created a time paradox!" So, yeah, don't do those things. It is not time travel. This game is a prequel, but if you do things that would break the timeline in this game...
Mousetrap. I placed a mousetrap.
I also like the fact that the Chivo is called Problem Solved Series Over, because Ocelot does grow up to be a very important player in basically every Metal Gear Solid game, so...
Ew, gross. Bodies. Ew, gross. Ew, gross. Ew, 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 ew.
But, all of these guys are asleep forever. You don't have to worry about them waking up. But, we placed that mousetrap there for a reason. Also, the sniper rifle, it automatically forces you into first-person mode. You can't run around with the sniper rifle in your hands.
You okay? Those men were from the Ocelot unit.
Spetsnaz?
Yes.
No, Ocelot.
The best crew has to offer. They're coming for me. I'm finished.
Calm down. I'll get you out of here, I promise. And we've got some of the best backup we could ask for.
Look.
That's what they were making you build.
The hell is that thing? Oh yeah, you can zoom in and out on cutscenes.
Behemoth, a tank capable of launching nuclear IRBMs.
It can launch nuclear missiles from that kind of terrain?
Oh yes. and without support from friendly units.
A nuclear-equipped tank capable of operating solo. Is that thing finished?
No, this is only the end of Phase 1. It won't be truly finished until we complete Phase 2.
Phase 2?
The weapon's true form.
It is written, only Snake can defeat Vulcan. Great, I'll grab my stuff.
Yes. And then the Age of Fear.
That look on Snake's face.
World War. I had no choice but to cooperate. I didn't want to die. I wanted to see my wife and child again in America. Please, take me to America, quickly. They cannot complete it without my help.
Got it. Let's go.
So if you ever wonder why Snake himself looks kind of awkward when he's moving around, I mean, of course, PS2 era mocap, but they purposefully used 2 different motion capture actors for Snake. One of the mocap actors was more experienced with action scenes, and one of the mocap actors was more experienced with, like, intimate scenes. They purposefully made each mocap actor do the opposite scenes. So whenever you see Snake doing action things, it's a dramatic actor who is not used to doing action scenes doing the mocap for those scenes.
This is probably a lot more shocking in the PS2 era, where you could barely see 2 feet in front of you in fog.
David Bowie? Wait.
Boss?
Good work, Jack.
What are you doing here?
Sokolov comes with me.
Well, they did it on purpose, you see. In order to make Snake look awkward, because this is his first survival mission.
Hornets.
Yeah, that guy's flying inside of a bee tornado, but he's not even the one controlling the bee tornado. It's this guy who is controlling the bee tornado.
Did I just witness a guy get carried away in a bee tornado? Did I just get carried away in a bee tornado?
My friends, let us fight together again.
I have waited long for this day.
We will fight with you once more.
Welcome back, boss.
Now that all 5 of us are together, it's time we go to the depths of hell itself. It's raining blood. Is he crying?
Hey, babe. How's it going? Alright, bye.
Kuwabara.
In the old oak tree. Oh, wait a second. That's not how it goes. Ah, god damn it.
joyful scene.
Colonel Vogan.
Welcome to my country. And to my unit.
Boss, what is this?
The final boss of the game.
To the Soviet Union. Sokolov is a little gift from my new hosts.
Look on Snake's
Coilless
face.
nuclear warheads.
Snake has so many great faces throughout this game.
These will make a fine gift for me.
This can't be happening.
Who is he? Another one of your disciples? Are we taking him with us?
No, this one is still just a child. Too pure for us Cobras.
It's an awfully big beard for a child.
He has not yet found an emotion to carry into battle.
What are you talking about?
I'm pretty sure my emotion is pretty goddamn pissed off right now.
Think you can pull the trigger?
Hey. Hey. Okay, fine. I don't need a gun. Neither did Ocelot. Ow! Oh, my nose. Please don't break my...
He's seen my face. We can't let him live. If Khrushchev finds out about this, we're finished. He must die.
Wait.
You dare bring light into my lair? You must die!
Jack, you can't come with us.
No hard feelings. You broke my arm. I mean, you're still my mom, so... Those were my guts. That was the gurgly-est scream I've ever heard. It's like David Hayter had like mouthwash going on while he was doing that one.
Are we done here?
Now, onto Sokolov's research facility.
Shagohod is ours.
It's pronounced Sokolov. Okay. Okay.
Drift away. My place is with them now.
My everything hurts. Dad, Mom betrayed me.
Snake, can you hear me?
Yeah. Just barely.
Snake, listen to me. You need emergency medical treatment. Can you move? You've got to get those wounds treated. Hang in there. All right, let's get you fixed up. Paramedic?
Okay, Snake. Just relax and it'll all be over before you know it. Stay with me. I've seen people in worse shape before. Think you can handle it?
How can you see me? You're on the plane.
The boss. She's defected.
We'll talk about that later. First, we've got to get you patched up.
Okay, here we go. First, open the survival viewer with the start button. If you select cure, you can start the treatment. Healing is divided into treatment using medicine with the item window button, and surgical treatment using the weapon window.
Dang, that Snake's cheating. He has 999 of everything.
Right elbow and rib bone, and lacerations on your upper arms, right elbow, and abdomen. They need to be fixed using surgical treatment. Move the healing cursor with the left stick to the affected part of your body. Once you've selected the affected area, hold the weapon window button and use the left stick to select the medical item, and then press the enter button. With this method, you can use items to help your recovery process. To treat a bone fracture, first secure the affected area with a fastener and then wrap it in bandages. That should do it. For lacerations, you'll need disinfectant to clean the wound, sutures to stitch it up, styptic to slow the flow of blood, and bandages to wrap the wound. If you do everything I mentioned, the wound should heal completely.
I know, right? It's so easy.
Understood?
Yeah.
Stay with me. Go into the survival viewer and treat those wounds.
Ouch. My everything is in pain. Ow.
So, in this game, Snake can sustain severe injuries, which really bums him out, man. Look at that. That's the face of a man whose mellow has been severely harshed. But, you go into the cure menu. You can see his bones. And you can even see, like, the fractures in them, which is a cute detail. I really like that. Let's see. Broken bone. Well, none of those are pretty good for broken bones. But, yeah, just use a splint and bandage. That'll be alright. Cut. Broken bone. Yeah. Bandage. Split. Boom. But it doesn't really matter what order you do them in. So here we have a cut. Suffering from a deep cut. No bandage applied. Not yet disinfected. And it's bleeding. Well, nothing's stopping me from hitting up with bandages, closing it, using the styptic, and then disinfecting it. So yeah, it doesn't matter what order you do them in. Also, you may have noticed our cigar is here in the cure menu. You can use it. Doesn't do anything. You could use a knife. It doesn't do anything. So wounds can't get infected. It's just like a mechanic. The thing is, Snake's wounds will heal naturally over time, eventually. A broken bone will eventually heal. It's just the cure menu makes it heal way, way, way faster. Also, I hope I never have to do that, because that sounded like the most painful thing in the universe. Is the sound behind? God, I hope not. Oh, man. I really gotta figure out why the sound keeps delaying on my PS3. Of course, it might just be something where...
We're coming to get you now. Just stay where you are.
Yeah.
Drop a recovery balloon.
Yeah, the sound is
Can you set
desynced.
it up?
Damn it. That's actually a really big problem. Well... The thing is... The way I... Oh. Missed it. Darn. There was an Easter egg during that R1 scene. Whatever. Who cares? The way I have it set up is like PS3 is hooked up through an HDMI converter because the PS3 has HDCP that you cannot turn off, which sucks. I think there's a way to mod it to remove it, but that would involve cracking the PS3 open and getting into the motherboard, and I think desoldering something or soldering something new on, and rather understandably, I'm a little hesitant to do that. Yeah, you can turn off HDCP on the PS4 as long as you're not like using like the Blu-ray movie player or like another program like Netflix. It's not a bug, it's a feature. But it's basically so that you can't record the movie. Like, you can't create a copy of the movie just by running it through a recorder. But, Volgan, don't be weird.
Excellent. A great success. Thanks to the boss and her cobras, I have both Sokolov and the Shagohod.
A girl! Oh, she thinks I'm cool.
What are we going to do with the girl?
I'm sure that... What the fuck was that face?
She's Sokolov's woman.
The face is in this game.
She's a nice catch. I'll take her. Not so fast, my dear.
This is mine. I'm going to be the most fabulous one here.
A kiss of death?
Are you KGB?
We may be able to use her. She has spunk.
Shall we take her back to the base?
Perhaps we should. We have no further use for Sokolov's research facility. I think it's time I gave this marvelous new toy a try.
Colonel, even if they are our enemies, they're still our countrymen.
But it won't be me that pulled the trigger.
It'll be you. Put your hand right here.
You're going to nuke your fellow Russians?
Remember the Alamo.
Colonel!
I know what that is, despite being Russian.
You would not want to be that close to a nuclear explosion. Don't look at it! Don't look at it!
Great. Now I've been near 2 nuclear explosions. I'm never gonna have kids at this rate.
Oh yeah, the sound is way desynced. Oh my god. Yep. Guess I'm gonna have to figure out what's going on with that. But first. Maybe.
What a thrill with darkness and silence through the night.
This credits sequence has a lot of Easter eggs. A million Easter eggs. The right stick makes these falling soldiers appear. You can click the right stick to change them to planes. To more planes. To other kinds of planes. To birds. To Russia. To peace! To more parachuting dudes. The left stick can move the credits. Clicking the left stick changes the language of the credits. And then eventually they just change to snakes. And hitting the R1 button makes the chorus sing Snake Eater. Oh yeah, and the D-pad makes like this like dot pattern go across the screen. Oops, I didn't mean to skip that. But, yeah, I guess I should just try, turning it off and on again. I don't know why this happens. It's very annoying. Or maybe it's something I can change in the video settings. Oh, there we go. Video output. Outputs composite signal. That seems to have fixed it, kind of. Seems to be in sync again. Seems to be in sync again. We will find out shortly. Metal Gear Solid. But, yeah, so when we started the game the first time... That blue hedgehog again, of all places! Now whenever you boot up the game, you actually get the Snake Eater theme. And let's listen to the whole thing this time, instead of skipping it, because I'm dumb.
What a thrill
Now, this is still out of sync, but that's actually a problem with the HD collection. When the game originally came out on PS2, the song actually starts a little bit later into, like, the sequence, so that it, like, syncs up with, like, some of the actions on screen better. And it's really weird that they broke that in the HD collection. Never fixed it, but it's not broken in the 3DS version. It's really weird. There is also a way to change the credits completely. If you enter in the Konami code on the Konami screen, the credits change to a different set of credits. I don't know what the different set of credits is for, but I think it might be with like the mocap scenes or whatever. Yeah, using the shoulder buttons changes the, or the trigger buttons changes the, color of the, soldiers. Oh yeah, the music in this game is... a lot of it's by Harry Gregson Williams, the guy who composed Shrek. And in fact, that was a selling point on the back of the box. In fact, Harry Gregson Williams was like, he was the composer for 3 and 4. And I think he also did some of Peace Walker as well. But yeah, I love the James Bond send-up theme they have with Snake Eater. It's great. But yeah, Harry Gregson Williams, he did a lot of the music for 3, 4, I think also Peace Walker. He didn't do the soundtrack for Metal Gear Solid 5, though. For Metal Gear Solid 5, they replaced him with Ludwig Forsell. Can't remember what's under special. Oh, yeah. Now, as awesome as the HD collection is, it is still missing some things. Namely, a minigame. Actually, 2 minigames. Oh.
So how does it feel to be a patient in one of the most advanced ICUs in the world?
Would you do me a favor and tell the suits about visiting hours? I'll never get better with them assaulting me day and night with their questions.
Must be part of the top brass's inquiry.
One of them is not frog stuff.
According to them, I'm a traitor and an accomplice to the boss's defection.
They're just looking for a scapegoat.
Does that mean they're after you too?
Actually, do you like Ape Escape? Because that's what one of the minigames was. It was Snake versus Monkey. You play as Solid Snake on what is supposed to be his day off. But the Colonel's like, Snake, you need to go catch those monkeys. But can't the guy from Splinter Cell take care of it? No, Snake, you need to catch the monkeys. So you basically play Metal Gear Solid, except all of the guards are replaced with monkeys. And you shoot the monkeys in the head and they fall over, and then you run over and you pick them up, and Snake goes, gotcha! Every single time. And if you pick up a bunch in a row, he just goes, gotcha! 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 You're mine!
Yesterday, the White House received an unexpected call.
And then he does a little dance.
President Johnson.
The second minigame is like a really weird Easter egg that's kind of like a scrapped game concept that they just stuck into the game. They just took it and they just put it
One of our country's main design bureaus, OKB-754, was
This game's funny
destroyed
because it
in a
is.
nuclear
I love it.
At about the same time, our anti-aircraft radar picked up a
But,
signature
the HD collection is also, unfortunately, missing the Secret Theater. And I might actually break out my PS2 just to show off Secret Theater, because Secret Theater's fucking incredible.
Forces on secondary alert. Depending on your response, I may be left with no choice but to order the military to maximum alert and unleash Armageddon. With the help of your predecessor, I was able to survive the Cuban incident. But my power is not as great as it once was. If I am to survive this crisis, I must have your full cooperation.
I should have contacted you myself. Did you know that one of our soldiers defected to your...
This is something I never noticed until I played this game a couple years ago. The voice of good old Lyndon B. Johnson here, well known for telling the White House tailors to make sure his pants are sizable. It's the same voice actor as Sully from Uncharted.
She's a living legend. During World War II, she was the one who led us to victory in that war. In Russia, you know her as Voyevoda.
You mean...
I'll be go to hell, mate.
The mother of your special forces?
Yes, that's the one. And she took 2 miniature nuclear shells along with her.
The boss took 2 miniature nuclear shells.
I'm afraid so. I believe they were a gift for her new hosts. The Davy Crockett Atomic Battle Group delivery system was completed 2 years ago. Serious problems were found with the launcher's range and precision. Although they were mass-produced, they've never been deployed in battle.
But Sokolov's research facility was completely wiped out. The whole area is polluted.
I can only offer you my deepest condolences over this terrible tragedy.
Oops, I guess.
The boss, with Colonel Volgin's help, stole 2 experimental nuclear shells and took them with her as gift when she defected. Then, shortly thereafter, Sokolov's design lab, a top-secret military research facility, was destroyed by one of these weapons. Am I right so far?
Yes, that's correct.
And the American government denies any involvement in the
American government pictured here.
right as well.
That's correct. We were not involved in any way.
Then what was a U.S. military aircraft doing on our radar screen? It was clearly in violation of our airspace.
The boss stole that one too.
It was not acting under your orders.
That's correct.
You expect me to believe that this was all the work of a single soldier?
I don't know what else to tell you.
The army insists that this is all a ploy on your part.
I've said it once and I'll say it again. Our government had nothing to do with it.
And I would like dearly to believe you. However, I'm afraid my power over the military has weakened since the Cuban incident. I will need some kind of proof that this was not the action of the American government. You have 1 week. You must catch the boss yourselves and recover the remaining nuclear device. Then, you must find some way to prove your innocence.
Prove our innocence?
Yes, preferably something painful. Prove to me
I'll
that this is
stub
not
my
merely
toe,
another one of your
if that
tricks.
works.
The boss should be close to Colonel Volgin. How about a little co-action?
I would not expect too much if I were you. The political situation here is unstable. And Colonel Volgin is a member of the Brezhnev faction, which seeks to topple my government. 1 week. You have only 1 week. And if it is not too much to ask, do something about Volgin as well.
Alright, we'll make sure he stubs his toe.
Nothing. It means nothing. Call it a modest gentleman's agreement to ensure our continued relationship.
What if we can't prove our innocence?
Then I be unable to restrain the military. I will be ousted, and they will seek their revenge.
A nuclear attack on the United States?
I leave the disposal of this situation entirely to your discretion, Mr. President.
Disposal?
If you fail, it will mean the beginning of a new world war.
Alright. Nate!
Simply,
Go dig up that statue from the bottom of the trench.
prove that America was not involved in that explosion.
And eliminating the boss ourselves will prove America's innocence?
Right. The higher-ups have decided that you're the only one capable of pulling this off. You were her last apprentice. Screw this one up, and we'll both be 6 feet under. There's no choice.
Are the Russians going to be helping us?
KGB has promised to lend us one of
Wait
their
a second, what?
satellites so that you and I can talk to each other.
That's it?
They've also put us in touch with a couple of insiders.
Insiders?
There was a defection in September 1960. Do you remember it?
You mean the 2 NSA codebreakers who went over to the Soviet Union?
Precisely. Since then, they've apparently been training with the KGB in exactly this kind of situation. Their code names are Adam and Eva.
I don't
told that
get
Adam
it.
has infiltrated Vulcan's ranks. We've also arranged for him to provide you with an escape route.
This is apparently a real thing that was really developed, really for real. But it did not work. It didn't work even remotely well. Do you see weird rocket thing heading straight for us?
Control. Unidentified aircraft detected. Altitude 30,000 feet. It's fast. Estimated airspeed exceeding Mach 3. Bearing south. I'm about to lose it.
Hey, that's the crazy thing about a Metal Gear Solid, is that as absurd as the titular devices are, they always have, like, some things where it's just like, oh, that's just equally as ridiculous. But it turns out, no, it's not as ridiculous. They actually tried making it. They actually did make it. It just didn't work. But in Metal Gear Land... Ow, 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 ooh, ow, oh, oh, I landed on the broken one. Oh, I landed on the broken one. Oh, I landed on the broken one. Oh, that's, That's gonna be tender for about, 10 forevers. Ow. He did indeed keep his backpack this time. It's all good.
This is Snake. Do you read me?
Loud and clear. Glad to see you landed safely.
I got blown pretty far off target.
Snake, let's go over your mission objectives one more time. Rescue Sokolov. Find
You
out
don't
what's
want to
happened
lose
to
my
the
snake
Shagohod,
snacks.
then destroy it. And finally, eliminate the boss.
Eliminate the boss.
This
That's
mission
what
will
I
be
said.
codenamed Operation Snake Eater.
That's
Because
the
I'll
name
be
of the
taking on
game.
the boss in our Cobra unit, right?
Don't forget about Colonel Volgin.
I'm not a hired killer.
I know, but that was the Kremlin's demand.
Also,
Man,
technically, we hired you to
it
kill the
wasn't
boss in
just
the
a
Cobra
request.
unit, so you
What's it
kind
to
of are
us
a
the
hired
Khrushchev
killer if you
regime
think
is
about it.
threatened by the Colonel and his faction.
If supporting the current regime helps us avoid a nuclear exchange, then that's what we'll do.
And what are the CIA's demands?
Our priorities are the rescue of Sokolov and the destruction of the Shagohod.
Roger that, Major Tom.
Hold on, Snake.
What now?
I'm changing my codename. It turns out Tom wasn't the most auspicious choice.
People keep saying ground control to
Well,
Major
the truth
Tom
is, when
to
I
me.
chose my codename, I picked the wrong one.
The wrong one?
Did you ever see the movie The Great Escape? It came out last year.
Must have missed that one.
Movies are dumb.
Anyway, it's based on a true story about prisoners who escaped from a POW camp in Nazi Germany. The prisoners dig 3 tunnels as part of their plan, but the Nazis find 2 of the tunnels before they're finished. The prisoners succeed in escaping by using the last remaining tunnel. The names of those 3 tunnels were Dick, Harry, and Tom.
I get it. You used the name of the tunnel they escaped in as your code name because you thought it would bring you good luck.
Yes.
Well, that, and, you know, I thought they went to Pimento University.
But I got the name wrong. The one they escaped in was Harry. Tom was one of the unlucky tunnels. It was discovered by the Nazis before it was finished. I watched the movie again just to make sure. In fact, I even ordered the actual film from the movie company.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like the greatest name to use. So what should I call you?
You know, let's just use Zero, like we've been doing all along.
All right, then. Major Zero it is. We'll start over from square one.
From square 0. My frequency
That
is
wasn't funny.
140.85. Oh, I almost forgot. Paramedic is with us again on this mission.
Is this her last chance, too?
If we fail, she'll have her medical license revoked. It's more or less the same.
Why?
Fate. Her frequency is the same as during the Virtuous mission, 145.73. She'll be recording your mission data as well, just like the last time. That frequency is also the same, 140.96. And there's one more person on your support.
Hey!
His name is Mr. Sigint. He's an expert on the latest in weapons and equipment technology. You'll be going up against some of the world's most advanced weaponry when you infiltrate the research facility. If you have any questions, just ask him. His frequency is 148.41.
Mr. Sigint. Got it.
Adam, your KGB contact, is waiting for you at the abandoned factory up ahead.
The same factory Sokolov was being held in last week.
Yes, meet up with Adam first. He's cleared the way for you to rescue Sokolov.
How will I know this Adam guy when I see him?
You'll know once you reach the factory. The whole area's been polluted by the fallout from that nuclear blast. No one else would dare come close. The password is, "Who are the Patriots?" and "Lali Lule Lo."
Lali Lule Lo. Gotcha.
You've been equipped with a 45 for this mission. Be careful, it's noisy.
I thought standard Fox procedure was procure on-site weapons acquisition.
The circumstances are different this time. You're now on an official mission for the United States government. It would be necessary to make your presence known to a certain extent. To the Khrushchev regime, at the very least.
So murder at least
Remember,
one random
this is still a
guard on your
sneaking
way
mission.
there.
Snake, if you fail this mission, it will mean an all-out nuclear war. Keep that in mind and proceed with extreme caution.
Understood. Commencing Operation Snake Eater.
It might just be an M1911. Let's find out. So I have a real gun. It's an M1911. Nice. I mean, it's fine if those are the only zeros in your mind. I would think there is another one that would come to mind rather quickly at this moment. But that's just me. Anyway, we are back in the jungle. Take that, fruit. Take this other fruit. And you as well, fruit. Oh yeah, you don't have to go into first-person mode to shoot. You can also just shoot like this. Take that, flying squirrel. So many things. Huh. Hey. Looking for more snakes to eat. Give me that snake. No, actually, first-person aiming has been in every version of Metal Gear Solid 3. You're thinking of Metal Gear Solid 1. Also, there are random shrubberies and such that you can shoot or kick or whatever, and they give you medical supplies. Anyway, if this area looks familiar, we've been here before. I did that on purpose. What? How is there a horse here? Oh yeah, you do also have just a regular old knife, if you just want to regular old knife things. Look at him go. Well, we might as well call Sigint, because he's the only one we haven't talked to yet.
Yo! You're Snake, aren't you?
And you're Sigint?
None other.
I heard that you're an expert on weapons, equipment, and cutting-edge technology.
Close.
Huh?
I am the expert on weapons, equipment, and cutting-edge technology.
A smart guy, huh?
I'm the guy that designed your trank gun, active sonar, and motion detector. If you want to know anything about weapons or equipment you find in the field, just send me a message and ask. Later.
Sigint basically replaces the boss for the part of the game where the boss is your enemy. He'll tell you about the camo you have equipped, the weapons you have equipped, the weapons you find, weapons that enemies are carrying, that sort of thing. For some reason, I can hear a horse. What's a horse doing in the middle of the Russian jungle?
Looks like death wasn't ready for you yet.
Wait, I forgot I'm out of bullets. Dang it.
Boss.
That arm still hurt?
Yeah, it kind of does, actually.
What are you doing here?
You didn't even have any bullets in your gun.
Go home.
Are you stupid?
Go home. Gru and my sons are waiting up ahead. You don't have a prayer of finishing your mission. You're not even armed.
Boss!
I'm not your boss anymore.
Yeah, but that's your name,
There's nothing
though.
for you here. Go home. Go back to your boss. There's no need to prove that you are virtuous here. This isn't America.
It was already broken.
That should stir things up a bit. You'd better hurry.
What's up?
The border is 60 miles south of here. You ought to be able to run that far.
Why'd you defect?
I didn't. I'm loyal to the end, to my purpose. What about you, Jack? What's it going to be? Loyalty to your country or loyalty to me? Your country or your old mentor? The mission or your beliefs? Your duty to your unit or your personal feelings? You don't know the truth yet. But sooner or later you'll have to choose. I don't expect you to forgive me. But you can't defeat me either. You know me too well. Just look at that bandana. If you can't put the past behind you, you won't survive long. If we meet again, I'll kill you.
That had to have hurt like a son of a bitch. God damn it. I even got owned by her horse. Major Zero, she took my gun and she kicked my hand. I can't do this.
Boss.
You were what?
The drone's been shot to hell. It's up in flames.
That's not good. Enemy scouts are going to come looking for you.
Yeah, I know. But what was the boss doing here in the first place? There's got to be a leak somewhere.
No, that's impossible. The man the boss is working with, Volgin, isn't exactly on speaking terms with Khrushchev.
I lost my gun. The boss destroyed it.
Snake, I know how you're feeling. It's hard for me to believe, too, that a legendary hero like the boss would go over to the Russians. That she'd double-cross us like this. But that's how it is, and if you don't accept it, you'll never be able to beat her.
That's not the problem. In terms of sheer technique, I'll never be able to beat her. I know that all too well.
You've got to do it, Snake. She's your enemy and your objective.
Enemy? We were together for 10 years, and now you tell me she's my enemy?
Enough.
Snake, where exactly have you been for the last couple hours? This is basically what everybody else has been talking about.
You've lost your weapon, right? That means you've got no chance of winning in a battle situation. Whatever you do, don't let them see you.
So yeah, with the drone shot up, some dudes are going to be along very shortly to check it out.
What's this?
What's this?
HQ? HQ.
This is HQ.
Patrol here. We have evidence of an enemy intruder. Commence alert formation.
Acknowledged. Sending reinforcements. Use extra caution.
Look at the way they run. They're such dorks. Nice. We do still have stun grenades, though, which are pretty handy. The music for sneaking around is pretty good. The caution music. Oh, here they come.
What's wrong? What's wrong?
What's wrong is that you're not unconscious, my boy. Eat shit. There we go. Whoop. You might have heard a snake rattle. There are poisonous snakes that will attack you in this game. In fact, there are some wild animals that will attack you. Also, the Keratan in this map, the Keratan frog, is in a different location now. In fact, you have to go back to the previous maps, which you don't need to do, and find the frogs in their new locations if you want to shoot all the frogs in the game. Well, it's a good thing it's dark and this guy can't see for shit. But, we wanna walk up to this gentleman. Because we can still do CQC. Oops. I didn't mean to do that. So yeah, if you press the CQC button down really hard, you'll just straight up murder a dude. Now, what's funny is, that counts as a kill. Dropping them off the cliff does not count as a kill. But you get less items from them if you just murder the shit out of them. But if I had just knocked him out, you could just do this. No one would ever know. So, the more enemies you kill... So, kill count isn't really a bad thing unless you're going for a big boss run. The amount of enemies you kill does affect, like, your rank at the end of the game. So, like, if you kill a lot of enemies, you'll get a rank that reflects, hey, you just murdered the shit out of a lot of Russians in this particular game. But, unless you're going for a big boss run, it doesn't really matter. And if you're going for a big boss run, you cannot murder anybody. No death allowed. So, hanging mode has a bar that indicates how long you can hang on to things for. We're just going to try and drop and grab that branch. Actually, no, we're not. You're not going to do that. There's a safer way around there. So the big boss rank, that is what you get for doing perfect stealth, never getting caught, doing it very, very fast, and never killing a single enemy. It is the hardest rank to get. There's a man. I love the way guys fly in the air when you kick them. It is amusing. Get some chaff grenades, get some regular grenades. And we're just gonna drag this guy over here. It's really only worth it for bragging rights. I think you get, like, a special unlockable for doing it too, but... It's basically just for 100% completion, and that's it. Life medicine. A new uniform! You can find new camo patterns throughout the game. Swoop! And of course, different camo patterns are useful in different situations. Right now we've got Tiger Stripe, which is pretty good for just about everything. If you want to play through the entire game without ever changing camo, just go with Splir and Tiger Stripe. You will generally be okay.
I think that mousetrap I set a week ago finally paid off.
Yeah. Now we can get a mousetrap, which normally you can't get until much later in the game. But, now we have a mousetrap. Oh yeah, this game's great! This game's fantastic. There are many more reasons that it is fantastic, which, we will go into as, we continue. But my stamina seems to be getting a little low, so let's eat something. Let's go into the food, and let's eat a python. Snake, you barely even touched that. Snake Eater! They straight up animated a snake eating scene, yep. Well, I mean, how could you not? Zombie!
I'm a zombie. Ooga booga.
There are many camouflages that are not even remotely useful, but they're fun. Actually, zombies pretty decent in the dark, as we are. But, anyway. Yes! Some smoke grenades, but, I mean, come on. We have it now. Oh, yep, they also re-equip pretty much all of your items, so we're gonna edit it.
Yes.
So the cardboard box is a speedrunning tool. The cardboard box goes up slopes faster than Snake does normally. So, also we found an AK-47, so, hey, cool, we have a gun. But, yeah. Like, look at Snake go up these steps. Look at him go, individually, step by step by step. Whereas, if you have the cardboard box equipped,
Speedy speed boy, gasoline burning and
okay. And also there's the Keratan. So,
Mux go zoom.
More fun facts about Metal Gear Solid 3. The 3DS version doesn't have the frogs. The 3DS version does not have these cute little Keratan frogs. What it does have are Yoshi dolls. All the Keratans are replaced with Yoshi dolls, and some of them are even rearranged into different locations, so that they're a little trickier to find. So you can't just rely on your, knowledge of the original game in order to find all the Yoshis. Some of them are still in the same spots, but a lot of them are moved around. You do go around shooting Yoshis, and they make a Yoshi sound effect when you shoot them. And of course, you do get a Chivo for shooting all of the Yoshis. You get the Yoshi rank. In this game, you get the Karotan rank for shooting all the Karotans, but in Metal Gear Solid 3 DS, you get the Yoshi rank, complete with a picture of Yoshi. It's pretty great. Anyway. We caught a bird in our mousetrap. Pretty useful. And the mousetrap captures things alive. And we got some thermal goggles. Some Thermg. Some Thermg. There are ape escape monkeys in the PS2 game. They're in the snake versus monkey minigame. It is very amusing. But the animals you can catch with the mousetrap depend on where you are in the game. Each area has different catchable animals. I do love the fact that cutscenes reflect what camouflage you have on.
Sorry I'm late.
Cut the engine. They'll hear us.
Are you the agent they sent?
Are you Adam? I thought you were supposed to be a man.
Adam couldn't make it.
All right, say the password. Who are the Patriots? Who are the Patriots? Answer me!
We're the Patriots!
Get down!
I could do that too! Okay, maybe not as well.
There is your answer.
Those bullets didn't make a lolly glow sound effect, but okay, whatever. PS2 hair. It is an interesting choice of weapon. Especially if you're paying attention.
The name's Eva.
Take a wild guess as to what the R1 button does here.
This wasn't part of the plan. What happened to Adam?
What's your code name?
That,
It's Snake.
Snake, huh? Well, I'm Eva. Are you here to tempt me?
Not unless you like cigars. Girls are gross. I don't want to get your cooties.
Adam.
Colonel Volgin is a very suspicious man. He decided Adam wasn't the right person for this mission.
And you were.
Yes,
Why?
because I can do things he can't.
I really don't want to know.
I heard you used to be a codebreaker for the NSA.
I was. 4 years ago, I defected to the Soviet Union with Adam.
What I want to know is,
Military.
and this is something that has always bothered me,
Broom handle.
how she got the zip below
Packs
the
quite a
belt.
punch. Nice to have when you're on a bike.
How did she do
Held it
that?
sideways and used the muzzle jump to create a horizontal sweep. That was impressive.
Bet you've never seen that technique in the West.
It's imitation, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a Chinese Type 17 pistol. Around here, even that's hard to come by.
Well, I mean, we're not in China.
Don't worry, though. The one I've got for you is American-made.
Alright, are you ready to hear Snake geek out over a gun?
45, huh? Incredible.
Oh, fuck the cigar.
You like it?
The feeding ramp is polished to a mirror sheen. The slide's been reinforced, and the interlock with the frame is tightened for added precision. The sight system is original too. The thumb safety is extended to make it easier on the finger. A long type trigger with non-slip grooves. A ring hammer. The base of the trigger guard's been filed down for a higher grip. And not only that, nearly every part of this gun has been expertly crafted and customized.
Ah.
Where'd you get something like this?
I grabbed it from a Western munitions armory. It probably used to belong to one of your officers, and there are more where that came from.
Ah.
You had this with you, didn't you?
I mean, yeah, sure, but that's not this gun.
Better take this too.
What I am holding in my hands isn't a gun, it's a piece of art.
Like a scientist.
A disguise?
Yes. You're here to rescue Sokolov, right?
Sokolov's still safe then?
Yes. He's being forced to continue his work on the Shagohod.
Where?
At the lab. They've got a whole army of scientists there developing new weapons. Security is tight, but if you disguise yourself as a scientist, you might be able to sneak in.
Can we get Sokolov out of there?
We'll see, won't we?
Do I look like a scienceman?
Tell me how to get to the lab.
The safest way in is from the rear. First, you'll need to head north through the jungle. You'll come to a heliport used for shipping materials. Pass the heliport and continue north, and there will be a large crevice. Descend into that area, and you'll reach a cave. Move through the cave, and you will arrive at a mangrove swamp. After the swamp, there'll be a warehouse. Make your way through the warehouse, and you'll come out just south of the lab.
Got it.
And just what are you doing there?
In close-range combat, a knife can sometimes be more useful than a gun. By doing this, I'll be able to hold a knife at the same time and still keep the gun steady. That way, I can instantly switch between a gun battle and a knife fight.
Gun. Knife. Knife gun.
Right, let's get going.
Wait a minute.
What now?
You must be tired. Why don't you take a little rest?
I'll be fine.
You'll never make it in your condition. It's a jungle out there. There's still an hour before dawn. It's dangerous to be out in the jungle at night without a guide.
What about you?
I have to get back. I can't be gone for too long. They'll start to suspect something. Don't worry. I'll keep you updated over the radio.
That's it?
My orders are to provide you with information. Nothing more.
I was kind of hoping for a bedtime story.
Disappointed? All right, then. I'll do something special for you. I'll stand watch until dawn. Now be a good boy and lie down.
That is a terrible story.
What's the matter?
I don't know you well enough to trust you.
How well do you have to know me to trust me?
I don't know if I can trust anybody.
Gonna get that?
It's the most annoying ringtone I've ever heard, Snake.
She's right, Snake. You should get some sleep. Although in your condition, you really ought to be back in the ICU. Whenever you save the game and quit, you'll go to sleep. Sleeping allows you to gain back stamina naturally. Depending on how long you sleep, you may also recover naturally from sickness and injury. When you're tired or hurt, the best thing to do is just get some sleep. So do yourself a favor and take a nap. Doctor's orders, okay?
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, that is an actual mechanic. If you turn off the game if you save and you turn off the game for a while, Snake will automatically recover stamina and heal from wounds. On the downside, there is the very real chance that the food you are carrying will spoil. And eating spoiled food can make Snake sick. But if you've captured animals alive, they won't spoil. And spoiled food can actually be useful in certain ways. Take a wild guess as to what the R1 scene does here.
What's the matter?
We're surrounded. I see 4 of them.
We've got company. It's
Take
the
a wild
Ocelot
guess what the
unit.
R1 button here does.
Let's get out of here. Hurry. Don't forget your gear. Here, give me a hand. We can use this to get to the basement.
I don't want to be here.
I'll get past them on my bike. I'll call you later.
Okay, I'll keep them busy.
Cooties. Oh.
Don't go dying on me now.
I don't know what to do with these feelings. I guess I'll just suppress them and murder some Ocelot unit guys. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. So this is a boss fight. They're permanently in evasion or caution. You have to defeat all of the enemies by either killing them all or knocking them all out. There we go. That was easy. After you knock them out, they don't wake up, so you don't have to worry about them being like, "Who see you?" It's no big deal. And then you can just leave through this thing. Let's see. But yeah, we have new guns. We have the super awesome M1911A1, and we have our Mark 22 once again. So a useful item in this game is the motion detector. It's not quite as good as the Soliton radar, obviously, because it's a motion detector. It detects animals too, and if enemies are standing still, it won't see them. But it can still be pretty useful. But basically every electronic item in this game uses a battery. The motion detector uses up a battery. Batteries recharge naturally over time, and they also recharge faster if you're sitting in the sun or running around a whole lot, because Whoop, whoop, whoop. You didn't see anything. But, there are 8 Ocelot goons. One of them is up here. Ow. Well, I got caught. Darn. Guess that means I suck at video games. Oh, is it? Damn it. Ugh. Oh dear, this man's spine. That is most unfortunate. That guy is very hesitant about that tree. Ow. So I just received a severe injury just now, as notified by that red bar on my health. Severe injuries aren't, like... Your health can't regenerate past that point. So, like, with this severe injury that I've received, my health can't regenerate any further. But you do eventually recover from severe injuries, and if you go into the heal menu, your severe injury recovers much faster. But also, a hidden game mechanic is that for every severe injury you receive, your health bar actually increases a little bit. It's to, like, be indicative of Snake getting tougher through adversity, I suppose. It also affects one cutscene in the game. Indeed, what does not kill him makes him stronger. I'm looking for a snake. But there's like no animals here. Which is irritating. You can also tap walls. Peekaboo.
I see him.
The slower an enemy gets up, the less stamina they currently have. After you kick him a whole buttload, eventually he's just like, "Ugh," and collapses. So yeah, you might notice the red area of the bar has actually slowly gotten smaller. This game has more kickflips than a Tony Hawk game. Enemies can drop rations. Rations in this game work differently. They're food items. They always recover 1/4 health. Another thing that can happen, but they taste horrible. Another thing that can happen is if you repeatedly make Snake eat something that he doesn't like, eventually he'll develop a taste for it. And it'll recover slightly more health. Ah, that guy dropped a battery. That's actually good. So yeah, see that red area of our health bar? It's already almost completely gone. Injuries do recover much more slowly when you're low on stamina, though. Poor bastard. And yep, that sound effect means our wound has completely healed, we're all good, and our health bar has increased by a wee tiny little bit. I believe it is not true. I've read somewhere that a particular... Oh my goodness, we got instant noodles. Instant noodles are one of the best stamina recovery items in the game. There's a certain, like, vitamin deficiency or disease that can cause, like, your bones to disintegrate, and if your bones have previously broken, it makes them disintegrate a little bit faster? Yeah.
I've been waiting for this moment.
Hey, it's the dork.
That's it. That's the stance. I don't think so. What?
Smooth, Ocelot.
Spy? This bitch is wearing perfume. Stay where you are. I've had enough of your judo.
Actually, it's called
I see
CQC.
you've got yourself a single-action army.
That's right. There'll be no accidents this time.
You call that an accident? Well, it wouldn't have happened if you hadn't been showing off.
What did you say?
It's a nice gun, I'll give you that. But the engraving gives you no tactical advantage whatsoever. Unless you were planning to auction it off as a collector's item. And you're forgetting one more very basic thing. You don't have what it takes to kill me.
We'll see.
That thing only carries 6 shots. The Makarov carries 8. You have to get a feel for how many you have left.
But I thought 6 bullets were more than enough to kill anything that moves.
This is a high-class weapon. It's not meant for shooting people.
But
damn,
it got. Wait. There we go.
This isn't over yet.
I will become the best Russian cowboy ever.
Don't.
Why?
He's still young.
Plus, I kind of find him funny, honestly.
Damn it! I've got to get that before he does.
Well, that was extreme. Well, all the Ocelot soldiers have now vanished. Goodbye, Ocelot soldiers. Time to go to Chornixprut. Boy, this area sure is fancy looking. This is actually one of the areas that would tank the frame rate in the PS2 version. So I'm very glad it's different here. Oh my goodness. What's this? Uh-oh. Red on yellow, you're a dead fellow. Ah! I don't want to get bitten by a snake. But, yeah. Snake D. There's another snake over here somewhere. Oh, nope, not that way. Oh, here it is. This one, red on black, you're okay, Jack. And in case you're wondering, it is actually true. The red on yellow snake will attack you and bite you, and it's poisonous. This snake is docile, and therefore, it must die. But what's funny is that the game actually relies on you knowing that. If you try to call paramedic, she's just like, oh, one of them's a thing, and I can't remember which. Oh, another one. One of them also tastes better than the other. And that's actually how paramedic recommends you find out which snake is which. I don't know, snake, which one tastes better?
By that point, it would be too late.
We got some crocodiles here. You can blow them up. They drop food. Oh no, I'm full of food. But, trying to get a particular thing to happen. Oh, there's like a poisonous frog right there. Yep. Crocodile being weird. You do not want to get close to crocodiles while they are in the water. They will do their infamous death spin and instantly kill you. So you know. You do want to pay attention. Also, you might have heard that weird sound effect. That's a leech. There are leeches in the water. Oh! Damn it. Put the pin back in, please. Okay, no, never mind. Oh, goodness. Okay, here we go. You can throw grenades down their guts, and they will eat them, and then blow up. Zigzagging, I don't think helps if they're on land, but they are very, very slow. So leeches, they gradually destroy your stamina gauge. In order to cure them, you have to do literally the worst possible thing you could do if you have a leech on you. Just hit him with your cigar. Do not do this in real life. Do not do that in real life. I cannot stress this enough. Do not do that in real life. It is very severely bad for you. But in this game, it's okay, because haha, Snake the funny, haha, blow things up guy. Watch, I blow up, eat grenade. But yeah, leeches, they suck. Your blood. Gonna have to eat some food. Okay, it's the milk snake. Red on black, you're okay, Jack. Milk snakes, I believe, taste worse.
Disgusting.
Yeah, Snake doesn't care for milk snakes. There are lots of crocodiles around here. You can dive underwater as well. Oop. Nope. Dive underwater, please. There are also fish. You can catch fish. To be more accurate, you can shoot fish and then eat the fish. Blech. Water's gross. Yeah, there is a video of Snake pressing a cigar to a leech in order to kill it. It's gross and we're not gonna watch it. And besides, you shouldn't do
Snake,
it.
Are you there?
Eva,
Did you miss me?
did you make it without any trouble?
No one saw me.
So you're back with Vulcan.
In a matter of speaking.
What about the boss?
Yeah, she's here too.
Better be careful.
Thanks, I will. The boss and I get along pretty well, though. I guess we traders have a lot in common.
Why would anyone want to defect? Betraying your country like that, I just don't get it.
Are you talking about the boss?
I would never betray my country. I would never leave America.
Yes, in a small rural town. I never even knew there were other countries, other cultures, other ways of thinking. Until I went to work for the NSA. And one day, I'd found I'd lost faith in the things I'd been taking for granted.
What did you see? What was it that made you want to change sides?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you.
Try me.
I saw the universe.
The universe?
Not the actual universe. The universe as the intelligence community sees it. I realized that the gravity in this universe was holding me back. That's all.
Ride
People
through
in countries are
gravity.
both changed by their environment and by the times.
That sounds like what the boss was saying.
There's a
Oh, you
world
can actually
difference
change the
between
icon.
This country and America. But it's only a difference of position.
And in fact, if you call the same person repeatedly multiple times over the course of the game, eventually you'll get more icons with more personal information about them.
Constructed lie.
Where's the truth then?
It's hidden in the lies.
Are you lying too?
Who knows? I've been trained to make even the most severe falsehood sound like the honest truth. Weren't you?
No. I believe because I have to, even if it is a lie. That's part of my mission.
I'll have to remember that. If you need
It'll
me,
make
give
it
me a call
really
on the
easy
radio.
to take advantage of you later on.
Is 142.52. See ya.
Yeah, alright, fine, whatever. Traitors are just a bunch of party poopers. Oh. Just gonna climb up here. Perch there, eat some food. Like a Yabloko Maloko.
Not so great.
He doesn't care for the Yabloko Maloko. Yeah, we're just gonna climb across here. We're gonna drop here, and we're gonna catch ourselves on this rope. And this is the only way to get up here and get this item. But it is a very important item, which is why we're getting it, obviously. Metal Gear Solid is a very serious game for serious people. How dare you suggest it is anything but? How dare you, sir? How dare you? Don't touch this wire. It activates a trap. And that would be bad. The Scientist Camo I'm not going to continue using because it actually removes your ability to use any weapons. But there's nothing wrong with doing this. Alright. So there are guards in this area. You do want to be at least a little careful. Somewhat. Discretion is the better part of valor. This is an electrified fence. Oh yeah, also in a first-person mode, you still see the croc cap. It's pretty great. If you shoot that bit, the electrified fence deactivates. So not only are there guards in this area, there are dogs. Guard dogs. Guard dogs are dangerous. Oh yeah, there are also mines in this area. Fortunately, mines don't give a shit as long as you crawl over them. And now it's mine. The mine is mine. My mine. Yep, there is a dog. Dogs have, like, a wider awareness range, because they can smell you. I can't remember if they freak out when they see you wearing the croc cap. They might not. And, we're just gonna look for a hole in this fence. You don't want to touch the electric fence when it's electrified, obviously. That would be bad. You can also just climb this tree and drop over. But the most effective way to deal with dogs. And that soldier does not care. He does not care in the least. So, the hands being shaky is because my stamina is rather low. Well, rather low. Not at 100%. Different thresholds of stamina cause different levels of shakiness. I am really hoping I don't land on... Woo! This fence. Whoa. Good thing the crocodile cap doesn't count. But, we're just gonna equip our old, mousetrap here. Wish I had more than one, but alas. We're gonna set that there, and we're gonna see what that does. But, yeah, dogs, they don't count towards your kill count. So, really the most effective way to deal with dogs is to just shoot them. This is not a game for you if you like dogs. Oh! Mousetrap caught something. But did it catch what I'm looking for? That is the question. Let us find the answer. It did! We have caught ourselves a Tsuchinoko. Some kind of legendary snake thing from, like, Japanese folklore. It is a very rare thing. Don't eat it. You want to carry that all the way to the end of the game. You get a Chivo for it. Or rather, there's a special rank and you get an unlockable item for it. Ooh. But anyway, let's see. There's a man over there. And he looks like the sort of man who doesn't expect crocodiles to show up. First and foremost. Oh, there's another man. I wonder. Well, let's see. We have this live coral snake in our inventory.
Something there?
No.
I must be seeing things. Something there? Who was that?
Nobody. Just another crocodile. Ignore me. So that guy got poisoned by the snake. And he also triggered the trap. Oh. Ow. Dick. Okay. Time to stop fucking about. So yeah, the auto-aim button is pretty useful. It means you won't be getting any headshots anytime soon, but it's nice. Because otherwise, the third-person shooter mechanics in this game are otherwise kind of shitty. You can't CQC with the AK though, but you can still do that. Ah, there are still dudes flooding into the area from who knows where. But yeah, one thing I like about this game is the fact that it has a variable mix music. Like the caution, evasion, and alert themes are all just variations on one another, which is really cool. Alright. But, yeah, you can... Oh. Going into a new area doesn't immediately remove evasion or caution, by the way. You do actually have to be... You do have to actually be a little careful.
This is HQ.
Oh my goodness, it's Cyan Champion.
We've lost sight of the intruder. We're going into high alert.
Acknowledged. The enemy is still nearby. Pursue and engage him.
At this point, the idea of a no-kills all-stealth run has completely gone out the window.
What's wrong?
What's wrong?
Where did that come from?
Nowhere.
What's wrong?
These fucking guys. These fucking guys. Uh-oh. My stomach is getting growly.
Where did he go?
Where is he? Yeah, something about streaming from the PS3 just doesn't seem to work properly. This crocodile had a gun and he shot me! It's really upsetting. And it's to the point where I think I'm probably just gonna save at the Ocelot fight and call it for a night. Which sucks. But I gotta figure out what's going on with...
What is this?
What about a flying squirrel, Snake?
What is this?
It's gross. I don't like it. Blech. Like, just something about PS3 games. PS3... Because it happened with Sonic 06, too. Of course, the question is, what should I change to? Ah, give me that face camo.
This is HQ.
Oh.
Patrol here. The situation is normal. Understood. Resume your patrol.
No, it's just the way, like, it's just something with how this, like, displays through OBS, and it only happens with my PS3. It doesn't happen with anything else. Ooh. More suppressors is always a good thing. I'll take those. Thank you very much. Get ourselves a water uniform. So there is a special mechanic in this area. Yeah, just talking about the sound lag. Might switch to a different game after... Oh. There we go. After we get to the next area, just so I can save. There's a unique mechanic in this area. Well, it's not really unique, but it's interesting in that it's useless, basically. So, this little hut here. It's got a whole bunch of food in it. And a mousetrap. But it's like a food storage area. You can blow up this shack, and then guards throughout this area and surrounding areas go hungry. Oh. That also sucks. Maybe I could decrease the stream latency as well, and that might fix something. Because I do have my bitrate set rather high. But, we got all this stuff in here. And, I never really use the directional mic. But we can use some TNT. Oh, that's good. At least the video quality's good. But, yeah, this is also like a munitions barracks. You can blow up the munitions barracks, and then enemies, they'll run out of ammo really quickly and have to switch their sidearms or even their knives when fighting you. You blow up the food, they'll get really hungry, and you can trick them into eating poisonous or rotten food just by throwing it in front of them. They'll just be like, oh, food! But they won't actually pay attention to what they're eating. Because they're dumb. We're just gonna do a little bit of... like that. I'm fine. Whoop. Good night.
We're under enemy fire.
Acknowledged. Keep your eyes open.
Fair enough. I mean, I'm probably going to switch to something other than Metal Gear in a moment, but the thought is appreciated. And then I'll have to set aside some time and figure out why the PS3 sound lags. Seems like it happens more slowly at the lower resolution, though, because now it's only 720 instead of 1080, even though PS3 doesn't really do a whole lot of 1080 games, but this would be one of them, I would think. Wait a minute, I thought they were against each other. What's going on?
I hate to disappoint the Cobras, but you're mine now.
You're just a wee baby.
All of you, leave us. It's just you and me. No one to get in our way. Ocelots are proud creatures.
Are you coming on to me?
They prefer to hunt alone. Shots. This time I've got 12 shots.
That's a meta joke. You know what, let's just go ahead and do the Ocelot fight. Everybody laughs at you when you wear the crocodile hat. Oh no, Ocelot. So, you can see how many bullets he has left. Because Snake is really good at counting bullets. Much better at counting bullets than Ocelot is. We do want to stamina kill him. This is a pretty basic fight. Up. Up. It's not too hard.
You won't get away from me.
So, the whole meta joke, this time I have 12 shots. When you fight Ocelot in Metal Gear Solid 1, he only has one gun. Also, even though his cronies will shoot at you, Ocelot will get really mad, and he'll tell them to stop. He doesn't like them doing that. But if you decide to do straight up just gunplay against Ocelot, like, he'll play fair.
I've never felt a tension like this before. That's so different from simply changing a clip.
And just like that, Ocelot finds his kink. Also, you can skip that cutscene.
This reload time is
and shoot his hat off. So, when you do a quick draw duel, you want to get up close to him, put away your gun, but yeah, he'll move around a little bit more places. The single action army can stun Snake if he actually hits you with it, like that. Oof.
I've never felt a tension like this before. That's so different from simply changing a clip.
But let's say we don't want to fight dirty. Or we don't want to fight fair. Because, you know, fuck that. You can't just throw stun grenades at him. And then take advantage of it by shooting him in his face. But if you start fighting unfair, he'll start, you know, he'll start doing more difficult maneuvers. You can also shoot the beehives. But yeah, now he's ricocheting his shots. Oh! I switched to the M19. That would explain why his health is going down instead of his not health. There we go. Got him! But yeah, on your very first playthrough, you always want to try and stamina kill the boss fights.
Damn it. He found us.
Bees! Why stamina kill? You'll find out in a moment. Bees! Bees! Gross. But also, that's so cool. He can spin his guns to kill bees.
You were lucky. We'll meet again.
Ah, bees! Here's your bees!
The bees will never find me down here. Then again, I don't think anybody's gonna find me down here.
Oh, we are in the dark. But the reason you want to stamina kill bosses the first time through, you get their camouflage. Ocelot's camouflage is the aminals. Perfect.
I'm beautiful.
But all of the camouflages you get from boss fights have superpowers. This particular camouflage's superpower is that your aim never wavers. So, like, your stamina could be all the way to shit, but your aim won't waver. So here we are in the dark. It's hard to see. If you wait for a while, Snake's vision will actually adjust to the dark, and you can kind of see it happening a little bit here. Or you can also smoke the cigar, that gives you a little bit of light. You can use the thermal goggles, that makes it a little bit easier to see. And there's also a torch somewhere in the caves that you can find. But, we're gonna go ahead and save our game for now.
Snake, are you alright?
Yeah, just barely. What the hell were all those hornets?
Or talk to Eva, that works
Most
too.
likely that was the Pain, one of the Cobras.
I figured as much. Are they tracking me?
I don't know. The Cobras only take orders from the boss. Not even Volgin knows what they're really up to, so I don't know anything about them either.
No kidding.
I'll try and dig
So
up
the
as much as
Cobras
I
are
can.
just weird.
You just focus on moving ahead. Go to the end of the cave and you'll come out in an aqueduct overgrown with mangroves. This leads to the Ponyzovie swamp. And Snake.
Don't worry, they don't do that.
That cave
is pitch dark inside.
Good. I did remember to tell you then. If it's completely dark and you need a light, try using a torch. I heard there's some emergency torches stored somewhere in that cave.
Torches. Got it. So where are they?
Huh?
Where are the torches?
How should I know? Go find them yourself.
Yeah, let's save our game.
Saving the game, Snake?
Sure am. Alright, let's see what movie Paramedic likes this time. Last time it was Godzilla. This time, survey says... Yes!
Snake, have you seen 007 from Russia with Love?
Nah, I don't like those movies. Real spies are nothing like James Bond. It's pure fantasy.
Snake, I don't think the Major's going to like you saying that.
And even though it's fiction, I can't help but comparing myself to Bond.
What exactly don't you like about James Bond? I mean, is it the fantastic gadgets? The cars? The guns?
Major.
Snake, wouldn't you like to have a gun shaped like a pen?
What good is a pen gonna do me in the jungle? I'd look like a fool.
Then what about a snake-shaped gun? You could make it look like you're grappling with a giant snake and then get a shot in on the enemy while they're distracted.
Okay, now you're being ridiculous.
We'll make you a snake-shaped gun that folds up and fits into an attaché case.
Will you give it a rest?
Oh, I get it. You're worried about how to handle the ladies, aren't you?
No.
I knew it. To tell you the truth, I don't like the idea of playing hanky-panky with enemy femme fatales either. But that's part of Bond's appeal. You could learn a thing or two from him. I mean, what about this Eva? What are you planning to do with her?
I don't even trust her yet.
No, that's not what I mean. You can't let yourself get involved. This is a game of spy versus spy. She's using you just as much as you're using her.
I realize that.
You've got to grab the initiative, and to do that, you have to get the upper hand in the relationship. That's what a spy is supposed to do.
Get the upper hand? I don't think I'm cut out for that mission.
Maybe if you change your code name to 00 Snake.
Major.
007 is the biggest thing to come out of England since the Mayflower. I wouldn't be surprised if they made 20 more of those movies.
Didn't you know? The Major is a huge James Bond fan. Don't get him worked up like this.
Worked up?
Maybe you don't realize this, but now that you've got him started talking about Bond, I'm going to have to listen to him lecture for a whole hour after he gets off the radio.
You have my sympathy.
It's too bad you can't enjoy such a great movie, though.
I guess I'm just one of those people who can't enjoy spy flicks.
So, From Russia with Love, I believe, is the second official Eon canon Bond film. But it's either the second or the third. It's one of the earlier ones. It's not the first. That was Dr. No. But I suppose I could just look at the fucking films. They're sitting on my shelf. I have them in order. Oh, let's see what we got. It is the second Bond film. From Russia with Love. So, when this game came out, the 20th Bond movie had indeed come out. Die Another Day. So when he says, I wouldn't be surprised if they make 20 more of those movies, they really did end up making 20 more of those movies. But yeah, that's one of my favorite movie conversations with Paramedic. Is the one about James Bond. Because the Major, he just loves James Bond. Oop, hold on. Yep, I would like to quit the game. Anyway, I guess I'm done with Metal Gear Solid 3 for a while until I can figure out why the sound keeps desyncing when I try playing PS3 games. He means ground snake. He absolutely means a gun shaped like a snake that slithers along the ground. That is absolutely 112% what he means. Huh. I guess now the question is, what do I play instead of Metal Gear Solid 3? There's a lot of games. There's a lot of games. Ugh. I suppose I could make EPZ happy. And play Ori and the Will of the Wisps. I would imagine that would please EPZ to no end. So, plus I do kind of want to replay it, because it's very good. So I guess I'll do that. Get ready for real-time changing. I'm not going to create a new overlay just for Will of the Wisps, though. We're going to go with the old Blind Forest one. Because fuck you, that's why. Let's see. Ori and the Will of the Wisps. And I'm actually going to pause the stream in order to just, like, reset it so that it splits the stream. If you know what I mean. You know what I mean.